Yo, Still Mills, what's the deal, man? Yo, I'm heading back home. I ain't got much time to talk, man. But peep gang, we got to get into this Teofimo Lopez situation, man. It's no need to really go too far back into what happened as it pertains to him when he really started falling off after the Vasily Lomachenko fight. It's no need to go back into that because it's like we all know what happened, you dig? But we really started to see, his mental unravel. One of them on the little all access shows that ESPN was doing right before he fought Lomachenko, we really started to see him unravel. And ever since then, since the George Kambosos loss, he's just really lost his mind. You're at fault, man. It's one thing to lose, but I mean, Top Rank is a company where if you start losing, you out of there. And it's not like it's just losing. When you look at Edgar Berlanga, he hasn't lost. He's still undefeated technically. But it's how he's winning these fights. He just got he's coming, his next fight would be him being his first fight back off of a suspension for biting fucking Angulo. Like, bro, we saw, oh yeah, the writing's on the wall. You're going nowhere fast, so we just going ahead and sever ties. They're pretty cutthroat over there. Unless you're someone like a Manny Pacquiao who has a built-in insulated fan base to where you can lose, you can get knocked the fuck out cold, but you'll be able to bounce back from it. Lomachenko may have that. He may have that, but even when you look at Lomachenko has been fighting and he's fought nothing but quality opposition since the start of his career. Teofimo Lopez beating got arrogant, got overly arrogant, and completely disregarded the belt that Devin Haney had that Lomachenko forfeited, so he wouldn't have to fight him, as a mandatory. And all right, cool. Let me just go ahead and get this Teofimo fight out of the way since it's an in-house fight. You didn't like what was going on, like my man Ring says. You didn't trust the process. You went off. You did your own thing. You thought you had it made to where you could go and see, you can go and make money outside of the family, and to your detriment, here you are in the now. So now, after that fight, you come back, you fight Campa. You don't look bad in the Campa fight, but you do show vulnerabilities. Like you beat Lomachenko because it was a culmination of size and skill. Like your skill isn't greater than Lomachenko, but your size puts you in a position where you could neutralize a lot of what it is that he had to bring to the table. And it wasn't even a lot. Well, no, you can blanket his offense because he was gunshot the first half of the fight. If you don't have that size and punching power at 135 pounds, you get washed. So you move up to 140 pounds, you're not looking the same. The shots that you were landing on Campa, if you were landing them on 135 pounders, they'd have been outlined in chalk in the middle of the canvas. You turn around, you have another fight with Sandor Martin, in which I personally think that you lost, like pretty convincingly. He kept you off balance the entire fight, and he dropped you twice. And to the point where you're even saying, hey, yo, do I still got it? You're questioning your capabilities as a fighter after that fight. And it's on camera. It's not like we had to go to a report, sources are saying, no, it's on camera. Do I still have it? So you haven't looked great your last few fights. And now you feel you're not being promoted properly or as much as someone like Keyshawn Davis or Jared Anderson or Shakur Stevenson. The thing is with those three, two of them are still borderline prospect and contender level, but they're continuing to show progress. They're not showing signs of arrogance. They're staying humble. Shakur Stevenson is a 2-division champion. And he's still showing signs of he's still showing an upside and a hunger to actually want to get in there and rumble. He's not letting his accolades go to his head. And they're still winning. I don't think Top Rank is just a company where you have to win if you want to stay a part of that flagship. They're still winning. They've yet to lose. you have a loss. You should have 2 losses in all actuality. But the takeaway from all this is just how you could just come out of your mouth and blatantly say if they want the blacks, they can keep them. You know, it just really bothers me when it comes to Latinos, man. My wife, y'all have seen my wife before. She's Mexican and Guatemalan. So it took me years to get to a point where I can articulate myself enough with an individual to not indict the entire demographic of that people. I haven't always been able to do that. It took a lot of maturing for me to do that, and a lot of researching and expanding my vocabulary and learning how to be sensitive to people's feelings, because my coaches are Mexican as well. So I can't say something disrespectful to a Latino and not offend my coach. So I'm cognizant of that. I can't say something disrespectful to any one Latino who's being disrespectful and demonstrative towards my people and not offend my wife, my in-laws. I can't do that. Or any other Latino that I just fuck with on a regular basis. I can't do that. I can't do that. I feed into the bullshit. I officially come just as bigoted as the individual was who made the comment that triggered that emotion in me. You got to know how to control your emotions. You got to have good impulse control. And I've cultivated that in my years of consciousness. So I can articulate my problems and my beefs that I have with a certain individual or with that particular large portion of that demographic of people without insulting the other individuals who don't fall under them same footprints as these other motherfuckers. And it baffles me how, you know, Latinos, you dig, their character, not all, but a lot of them are caricatures of black people, black men, black women. Y'all lose our slang, our sloganisms, just all of that. Our culture, our dances, our music, all of that. We don't listen to reggaeton in the hood. We don't listen to reggaeton in Black America. You don't think that we don't listen to Chicano rap. Pun is the only Puerto Rican that I can think of that got play in the hood, and outside of that, like, it wasn't like you wasn't. Nah. You gonna play? I don't want to be a player no more, and that was the only one that was getting love like that. But we don't listen to Latin music outside of that, even within hip hop. Y'all listening to our music though, so for you to sit here and feel overly comfortable to say the shit that you're saying in an interview, it's like, yo, and then have the nerve to use a beloved ancestor of ours in Rosa Parks. Like, come on, man. Like, this shit has to. I'm rooting. Every time you fight, I'm gonna watch because it's a big fight. But I'm rooting that you lose. I honestly am. You're disrespectful. You ain't your pops, and your pops is on here trying to do damage control, and I'm not giving a fuck about none of that shit. I don't give a fuck about none of that. If they want the black fighters, they can keep them. If they want the black fighters, they can keep them. What the fuck are you talking about? You are getting the fucking title shot after looking the way that you looked your last couple of fights. You're getting a title shot. You have Heisman night. What are you talking about? It's just, it's the biggest slap in the face for you to come out your mouth and say the shit that you say, especially with your overt level of comfort with using the word nigga. And your daddy. And allegedly your dad got crashed for using it in the gym. Y'all are overly comfortable with borrowing from our culture and disrespecting us in the next breath, bro. It's condescending as fuck for you to say the shit that you said. If they want the black fighters, they can keep them. You got a lot of nerve, G. You got a lot of nerve. You got a lot of nerve. You had a whole bunch of momentum riding behind you after that Lomachenko win, and you fucked it off. Because you thought you can go get money elsewhere. And I was happy for you that you did that early on, because I saw it as you finding a way to stick it to Bob, because I'm not a fan of Bob Arum. But it turned out that was the wrong move to make. That was a mistake. This is why I'm not business savvy, and I'll tell you that I'm not business minded. I'm honestly not. Because in my mind, I'm like, oh hell yeah, go get that, go get that. But it was a bad move. It was an ill-advised move. But you kill me with this shit. This, if they want the blacks, they can have them. And then turn around and use a quote from our ancestor, our black sister. No, that's not my sister. That's my mother, my grandmother, my auntie. Like, y'all, this is the shit that I'm talking about, man. How y'all can become caricatures of black culture and then in the same breath be denigrating and disrespectful and demonstrative towards us. I don't get it with y'all, bro. Not all, but the seismic portion of Latinos who think they can say the shit that they say and do the shit that they do and not be denigrated for it. Oh, I have a black grandmother. I don't give a fuck. You ain't got two black grandmothers. You ain't got two black grandfathers. One black grandparent does not usurp your mestizo genetics, your indigenous ancestry. It doesn't. That shit doesn't work with me. That does not work with me. You cannot play me with that. So you can miss me with that shit. And the fact that if they want the blacks, they can have them. That is a lot. That's you drawing your line in the sand right there. That's you drawing your line in the sand, letting you know that I am who I am and they are who they are, which I have no issue with, because we are different. And there's nothing wrong with being. That doesn't have to be a negative thing. Nobody is gonna say I have a black wife because she's not black. There's nothing wrong with. I'm not saying that you have to be black. I'm not saying that at all. I don't see anything wrong with differences. I don't see anything wrong with that. Culturally, anything, language, skin complexion, phenotype. There's nothing wrong with being different. There's nothing wrong with it. So I don't say that to be, facetious or anything, man. But it baffles me how somebody can look so different and still feel comfortable enough to use our sloganisms and our slangs and our mannerisms when we walk and when we talk and our music and our them Fortnite dances. Who the fuck you think made them up? You don't do bachata and salsa. You don't do bachata and salsa and merengue when you win. You don't do that shit. You don't do that shit. You are doing dances out of the creative genius of black people. Then you turn around and you fucking say this shit that you say. Bro, it's absurd just how comfortable y'all are with just disrespecting us while still piggybacking off of our culture. So I hope I had Josh Taylor beating the shit out of you anyway, but I really hope he fucks you up. But as fucked up as that sounds, as much as I don't like you and I despise you and your pops, I don't want to see you in a position where you hurt yourself or you hurt somebody else because of how mentally unstable you are. I don't want that for you. I don't. Because I feel like it's still, just keep straight. I feel like it's still enough, it's still enough time for you to get your mind right and right all your wrongs. It's never too late for corrective action. It's never too late. I don't give a fuck about what y'all, man, they dick riding and all. This is my last fight with Top Rank. Whatever the fuck ever with that. That's not a concern of mine. That's not a concern of mine. And even if you lose to Josh Taylor, you don't have the skill, you don't have the tools of a Josh Taylor, nor do you have the accomplishments of him neither. So I'm expecting you to lose that fight. But you can still be a quality fighter after that loss. So I don't think you'd be washed or nothing like that. So that's not even a concern of mine with just what happens to you if you lose this fight. I just want you to watch your fucking mouth. That just period, point blank. Because it's past ridiculous how you can just sit there and disrespect us in the same breath, use our culture and our language and our customs and everything to elevate yourself. You came into prominence off of them fucking Fortnite dances. And those Fortnite dances are the creative and intellectual property of black people. You don't do salsa and merengue and bachata and all that shit when you do your celebrations after you win a fight. You don't do that. You do the dances that my people created. So you need a reality check. You and your fucking daddy. While he doing damage control, man. Fuck both of y'all. That's just how I feel about it, man. I don't like you motherfuckers. It's just the Latin demographic who just gets so disrespectful and vile when the shit that comes out of their mouth. I'm literally, I've argued with people like Mexicans. I've argued with Mexicans about, you know, their use of the word nigga. I don't like that shit. And what it is that they do, they take, like, they oh, well, what is, oh, my wife is getting out of the car. What are you doing here? Bye.